Hi, I'm Rick. I'm from SuperFunScience.com. Today I'm here with Mike Christofides. He's from the Granite Inspection Group. He what he does for a living is he inspects houses before people buy them. And it's a very important process of getting a house. And what do you have to do? You have to make sure that the house isn't going to fall down.
That's right.
And you have to make the owner aware of what sort of energy costs it might be to heat their home.
Sure.
But you also need to test their water.
That's right.
Right.
Very important element of it.
Okay. So what are you testing their water for?
Well, that's a good question there, Rick. And testing water can vary from home to home. Obviously, some homes are on public supplies, and the county normally does a good job of taking care of that for you. But you still want to have it tested occasionally because there could be other things in the water supply. But for today's intent purposes, most of this is in reference to well water. There are a lot of private wells out there that people are not aware that their water comes from the ground, and like anything else, the ground can have various elements or chemical concerns that you want to be aware of, so you're not putting yourself or your family in harm's way.
So even if you're on a public supply, you probably want to test your water anyway, because you might have lead pipes in your house, and you definitely don't want lead in your water. Very bad.
That's true. That's true. So there is a false sense of security that because you have public water, there's nothing to be concerned with. But the building, construction, or science might have things involved that might be tainting your water somewhere that you need to be aware of.
Okay. So we have a bunch of samples of water right here. And what can you tell me about these?
Well, obviously you could tell there's a gray, a very diametric type design here of bottles. You have some clear bottles, some slightly tainted looking bottles, and some very dark bottles. And one of the biggest misperceptions in water testing is that if my water is clear and doesn't smell or taste funny, it must be okay. And that's the farthest thing from the truth. And then the opposite end of that scale, you got some darker looking bottles here that, I don't know about you, but I'm not inclined to drink this, but there's really nothing wrong with that water.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with that water. That's all organic material, however, it's just aesthetically not pleasing, and I don't think on the hottest day in summer you'll ever want to drink that.
So you wouldn't cook spaghetti with that?
Not unless you're looking to add some sort of color to your sauce.
So you would cook spaghetti with this instead then?
Well, it looks that way, but that's not true. That actual sample there, because it's clear looking, gives you the false impression that it's okay. But that particular sample actually has MTBEs in it.
MTBE?
MTBE.
What's
right?
that?
That's an additive that was used in various types of petroleum-based fuels. It's a lead derivative that they use as an enhancement. Not good for you in any way, shape, or form.
That's really bad for your liver.
Yeah, actually, all the organics, anything in your body.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, okay. So we've had this tested, and although it looks nice and good, it's not nice and good. It's very bad. And what about this one here?
Well, these two here, they're very similar in color. There's just various levels of iron sulfate, and iron-like bacterial products. As you see Rick here shaking it up, you see how fast the discoloration is. And normally you wouldn't see that during a regular pour because the water will look relatively clear. Once you start accumulating, you get some light deflection in there, you start to see the color. As it sits there, you can see a good example, it's starting to precipitate out. So the longer it sits there, you're going to see a little bit of deposit on the bottom, and I'm sure by the end of today's presentation, you're going to see some very reddish-brown, iron-like particulates settling to the bottom as it precipitates out.
But it's not necessarily bad for you.
No, that's true. I actually have clients that actually, believe it or not, particularly women, because women are known to have iron deficiencies, that will look for properties that have iron in the wells, because there's a natural producing element that they're looking for their body versus taking synthetic drugs and things like that.
Right, people who are anemic also.
Exactly.
Right.
Iron deficiency people, sure, that's something that they'd be interested in having.
Cool.
That's a benefit to them.
So we tested this one too, right? And you said there's nothing wrong with it?
Nothing wrong with it.
So I could drink this?
If you choose to, you can drink that.
I'll drink it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Ew.
Bottoms up.
Tastes like iron.
You're a very courageous man, my friend.
Well, you said you had it tested in the lab, so it must be okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mixed these two. They're supposed to be... No. It was quite okay. There is nothing wrong with that sample. aesthetically not pleasing, not a choice for myself. As you can see, there's even some sediment on the bottom. You see it's sticking on the walls of the sample jar here. A little bit of debris, some dirt, all healthy and okay to drink.
No bacteria.
No bacteria.
Right, which is, that's what's wrong with this one here, right?
That one's got a little bit of bacteria in it, as well as some VOCs, which are volatile organics.
Looks beautiful and clear. So that's like similar to like some bottled water you get in the store. They'll have free plastic ions in it, which is not good for your liver and stuff like that.
Right? And there's a lot of controversy about the bottled water. So, you know, just because this bottle doesn't necessarily make it safe, but that doesn't make it not safe. So you really need to look into it and have it verified.
Okay. Well, I have nothing else to ask you.
Well, that's a good thing. It sounds like I got my point well taken across to everybody. It's pretty self-explanatory that just because it's clear doesn't make it good. Because it's dirty doesn't make it bad. And the importance of having it tested to ensure that you're having the health and safety you're looking for.
Okay, don't do this at home. I gotta say that, because you might be drinking something you don't know what you're drinking. So if you're gonna do something like that, get it tested first.
I would agree with that 100%.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Have a good day, everybody.